everyone. So looks like we crashed Facebook live stream. So I'm going to YouTube this and then you can watch it, and anyone that even doesn't have Facebook can watch it, so it's probably good in the long run. I'm going to start at the beginning again. So if you did catch the live stream, you can fast forward me to the part that you missed and then go from there. So I'm following the email that I sent out today. Which, speaking about emails, we do all of our communication through email. So you're going to get a newsletter at the start of every month, and then you also get emails kind of throughout the month if something's going on and we need to let you know of something. So just making sure that you are getting our communications. We can see if you open them and if you read them, so make sure you're reading them. Good. Then the next thing is leveling. Our studio performs assessments at the end of the previous season to determine the correct placement for each dancer. This is based on the dancer's ability, able to obtain choreography, stage presence, class behavior, age, work ethic, and more. So we stand behind our leveling, and it has proven to be very beneficial for us. When we go to competitions, our groups are very tight. They're all at the same level. They're all at the same ability, and they do well together. Whether it be a level 8 or level 6 or level 5, they're going to succeed because they're in the correct level. Sometimes a dancer will level them, and then over the course of the summer, or maybe they've taken a bunch of different classes over the summer and they've come back super strong, or maybe they've just kind of got into their body and learned how to use their limbs a little bit better, and they're really succeeding in September, and we decide that, you know what, they need to be moved up a level. We definitely do that. We have some movement in September to go, you know, they can move up. The opposite can happen. You know, maybe they had a really strong year last year and then they come back and we moved them up, and maybe we discover it's not the right level for them, and they're struggling, and so we will, you know, move them down if need be. That's a decision that we talk about with all of the teachers, and then we bring the mom in too and then discuss that. So there is movement up until probably October 15th, middle of October, because then we need to start our choreography and have our groups formed by then. Attendance. Okay, on the live stream I talked about this a lot. Competitive dancers' attendance is mandatory. By signing up for competitive dance, you have committed yourself to the team and agreed to be present for all classes. Dancers are not to miss more than 3 classes. The classes they do miss must be a valid and excusable reason. So we struggled with this last year. I kind of touched base on that a little bit. And it's not fair. It's not fair for the dancers that are there, that are present, that are working hard. It's not fair to the teacher who's trying to come up with amazing choreography and has to use circles or carpets to be bodies so that their mind can make the shapes that they need to do. You have chosen to put your child into competitive dance. You're investing a lot of money in competitive dance, and if they're missing it, it's not really an option. We had a lot missing for school sports. Yeah, I would have loved to do volleyball in school sports when I was in school, but it just didn't work. I was a full-time dancer, and that's what I committed to. And, you know, it's a life lesson that I love now, that, you know, if you commit to something, you fully commit to it, and you are 100% present with it, and it's going to make you a better person because of it. So we are going to stand behind our 3 strikes you're out rule, and if there's people missing for non-excusable reasons, then, you know, we'll have to say, you know what, maybe competitive dance isn't for you, rec is an option, and if that's not an option, then maybe the school sport that you're missing for, then maybe you can go into that full time. So I do realize that life happens. We travel sometimes with our family. We have things that come up, and that's okay. That's understandable. But missing for, you know, because they made the badminton team or because they made the basketball team and they're missing all of this dance, it's not fair. It's not fair to the dancer that has to come back and try and catch up. I don't know where I put them. I can't remember from, you know, week to week with all these dances where they are, and not fair to the other girls that don't get to play basketball because they're, you know, at dance and stuff like that. So I think that it's fair, and we have to be consistent with it. and that dance is life. You see those shirts made that it says I have dance, and that is exactly right. It takes up a lot of time if you're a full-time dancer, not your little level one once a week half hour. We're talking about our intermediate senior girls who are dancing 12 to 15 hours a week. I know it's a lot, and it also has huge benefits at the end. So as a mom, kind of be behind them and say, you committed to this. Let's follow it through. Let's finish it. If you have an absence and that is an excusable reason, not a friend's birthday party is not an excusable reason. Let me just throw that in there. Then make sure that you're calling into the office or emailing the office that they're not going to be there. If we don't get it, then we'll call too. But it's better just to email in and let the secretaries know, and they write it up on the boards, and then we know. Another thing, if a person has missed a bunch of attendance issues, and we usually write down in our attendance books why they've missed, and at the end of the year, if they've been nominated for a scholarship or an award, we go back and we check their attendance. If they have pretty good attendance, then that's fine. If they have attendance because they're missing because of this birthday, this their name gets crossed off the scholarship list. It's just not fair, right? Scholarships should go to people that are 100% committed, and that to me isn't. Moving on. If you have any issues about that, type it in the comments. Injuries and illness. Last year we implemented that if you were sick or injured, we do not want you at the studio. We used to have you come and sit and watch, but we discovered that it was really distracting and it wasn't beneficial at all. They were hardly taking anything in because they were so sick and they didn't really want to be there. So, and they're spreading their germs, and now my whole team is going to get sick. Or they're spreading the injury, not saying that some injuries aren't valid, but because of the attention, then the next class we had 5 people sitting with a sore hip, sore knee, that sort of thing. So last year we said if you were sick or injured, that we want you to stay home. So when we kind of, if the person is injured and this is happening, sometimes the parent would call in and I would talk to them and I would say, you know what, I do want her to come to this class. No, don't come to these classes. That's fine. So we can deal with it on a one-on-one basis, that sort of thing too. All right, moving on. I already had like a trial run of this. I'm going now. Competition fees. This year, acro level 1, 2, and then levels 1 to 4, we'll be going to 3 competitions. Acros level 3, 4, acro line, Lacombs level 5 to 8, and Blackwell's level 5 to 8 will be going to 4 competitions. Competition fees, you've already seen that because you've already registered, are $110 to $140. So $110 if you're in 3, $140 if you're in 4. Excuse me, sorry. They must be paid by November 1st. Let me look at the camera. They must be paid by November 1st. I have already put down $5,000 deposits to the competitions to hold our spots because they're so popular and they're hard to get into. So now they're taking deposits. And so, yeah, and our competition entry fees are over $20,000 for each competition. 20,000 times 4 is $80,000. I don't know about you, but I don't have that laying around. So, and the competitions is also not an income maker for the studio. I don't make money off of competitions. What you see is what I turn around and I pay the competitions. So by November 1st is my deadline for the competitions. I've given myself no leeway. I basically turn around, and when you've all paid me October 31st, because you're such great dance parents, I turn around and I pay the competitions to ensure that our spots are there and that I don't burn bridges with them, and that, yeah. So we struggle with that, and last year was better. I'm getting there and getting tougher and having office staff that do collection calls and everything like that. But just so that you understand that $80,000 is not something that I have in my realm of grasping and to borrow and to do that, especially now. Like the bigger that we get, it's more entry fees, right? I don't before when we had 100 kids, I could spot it, and it's not feasible. It's impossible. So basically what happens is we don't register for a competition, and that sucks to the people that have paid. If you are a DEPA member, so DEPA is our Dancers Edge Parents Association. They have the most members they've ever had this year, which is totally awesome. And if you're thinking about it, I definitely recommend it this year. So what our parent association is it's a chance to fundraise. I can't take fundraising in as a business. So years ago, we set up the Parents Association, and it's parent run. I see the emails, and I see the Facebook messages, and they, ask my permission on some things, but honestly, I have really nothing to do with it, and which is great. It's parent run. They represent our studio, and it's volunteers. There's 4 ladies on the board, and they are volunteer. They get a little bit of a little gift from me on their account, but nothing compared to the amount of hours that they put in. So I would like you to know that they are doing this out of the goodness of their heart, and that if just think, if you have problems or something like that, just breathe and let's be kind to one another, because you don't want to lose the people that are in these positions that are doing the work for you, because I'm sure you don't want to do it. So let's, grab patience and work through any problems that you guys have there. Anyway, DEPA. So you pay a small fee, and if you do your fundraising, I believe you get your check back at the end of the year. See, I'm not 100%. I should have someone else talk about it, and then you do mostly individual fundraising, and then they have some group fundraisers. What the group fundraisers cover, so that goes into the group pot. Change rooms. So we have our own private change rooms at competitions, which is so nice because we're so big, and then it's just our change room. So they pay for those. It sometimes can be up to $800 at a competition. So they're paying for that. They pay props, a portion. I believe they were paid $20 per family on prop fees. So if just by being a DEPA member, you got that covered. They paid, I believe it was almost $40 for stage rehearsal fees per family. So, they paid that. So those are group fundraisers. Then you can personally fundraise. Tons of different things like the beer survivor, paint night, selling no-sack meats, bottle drives, kind of everything. There's tons of different things, options for you to choose from. And then that fundraising you can put towards your competition fees or your costume fees. DEPA will have a date. You will get your October 1st or something. I email you your competitive fees statement. And then DEPA will have a date, probably like the 15th or 20th, where you have to submit what I sent you. You forward it to DEPA or put it in their box, and then say how much you want them to pay. If you have the funds, they'll pay it, and then you pay me the rest. You are responsible for clearing up the balance before November 1st. So that's how DEPA works. Yeah, it is great. While I was talking about fees, so competition fees and then prop fees, I put a rule that no more than $20 a dance, and not all dances use props, and some prop fees are only $5. Some bigger props are $20, and they don't even cover the cost of the prop. Maybe you'll see, like this year I'm using the merry-go-round again, and they'll probably get a $20 prop fee, or we'll see, because, and you're like, hey, she already used that. Well, I need to paint it, I need to recover the seat, and I didn't cover the cost of it yet. It's actually not 100% paid for, so that's where the prop fees, plus hauling it in my trailer, plus paying for a trailer, that sort of thing. So that's where prop fees come along. And then stage rehearsal fees. This year, I need to reevaluate my stage rehearsal fees. The college upped their prices last year, and I think that I didn't charge quite enough on stage rehearsals. But I also don't think that if you're in one dance, you should pay $20 for stage rehearsal fees. So I think we need to, kind of somehow bill, if you're in one dance, it's $5. If you're in more than 3 dances, $20. So I'll keep you posted on the stage rehearsal fees for that. Stage rehearsals are mandatory, and so important. We rent the college. We don't have those dates set yet, but we rent the college and we figure out what curtain they need to go on, where center is. It totally is very beneficial because if you don't have a stage rehearsal, the very first competition is like, oh dear Lord, help us. So yeah, so we want stage rehearsals, and we're lucky to get in on the college. I won't find out those dates till after Christmas, and I'm crossing my fingers that we get back into the college there. They like me, so hopefully they let us go back in. Yeah. Okay, competition rules. Every competition has its own rules, but similar. The studio enters every entry according to hours, students' dance, and year's experience. The competition then puts them in appropriate level. Our studio tracks from age 6 and up, honestly. I do believe that some studios aren't as honest on their ages and or else they have some very, very blossoming 11-year-olds that we ran into last year, but that's their decision. And then, yeah, like talking about how we come up with what level they're in. I don't just pick, oh, I'm going to put them in novice. So it's based on how many years they've danced that discipline at some competitions. So, and it's an average in the class. Mary's danced 5 years, so-and-so's danced 2 years, average 3.5, rounds up to 4 years, puts them as a novice dancer. At the Cheyenne competition that we go to, it's years dance experience, period. They don't care about discipline. So if you've done 1 year acro and 12 years jazz, you're entered in acro as 12 years. So you're like an inter 2 or whatever that is. So it's not, has its downfalls. It really sucks if you're like, your beginner tap group is now going to be higher because some people have done jazz forever. But in the same breath, it also gets rid of like phenomenal dancers being in a beginner acro category because it's their first year acro. So those are the rules. I mean, we try very hard not to make any errors. Joyce spends hours and hours and hours entering all that in and stuff. So, and then we do post it on the wall. So we ask you to look at it. And if you see something, then definitely let me know. And then we have so much time to put in changes and stuff like that. Okay. No parents permitted backstage unless assisting with props. So I will ask parents to come back and assign parents to come back. You can't go backstage. That's not allowed. No cameras, film, video equipment, or other recording devices will be allowed in the theater during the festival. Any person found using such equipment may be subject to disqualification of their child student studio at the discretion of the festival committee. Yeah. We have been in this situation before. We have had parents videoing their kids while sitting on their little iPhones, while sitting in the audience, trying to be sneaky or even not being sneaky and not knowing, and have I had to beg the owner of the festival not to disqualify our group. They had already gotten the medals and she wanted to strip them of their medals. And so it is not allowed. And if you see anyone doing it, then definitely let someone else know. And then, I do send lots of emails, and I think that people just think, oh, it's my kid, I can do it anyway. But they are really, really strict on this rule. And yes, it is your kid, but they are in this theater and they are following this festival's rules. So if you do that, then I guess if that's your mentality, then you're okay with your kid crying because I have to take their medal away. Well, not even me, the festival thinks. And the whole studio can get disqualified too. So you don't want to be responsible for that. We have had other studios videotape our choreography. And so we were close to being disqualified for that. And then I was able to prove that they were videoing other studios as well. So they weren't from our studio. So that was horrible. Who does that? That's also why we do not allow you to post videos of our choreography, competitive choreography. We're fine with like combos and stuff like that. You can post them on your Facebook or Instagram. Love it. Tag the studio, tag hashtag DS Love, spread it out there, the word, like that's great. But once we start our dances, our competitive dances, we don't want our choreography on social media because we don't want other studios stealing our song ideas, our choreography, you know, like they're unique to us. And it's so easy to be like, oh, that move's really cool, and steal that move, and it's something that we've come up with. So until we go to our first competition, we have a no social media rule of the choreography that is their dance, their real dance. So during that watching week where you get to come watch and you video it, it's great. You can private send it to grandma if grandma has Facebook or whatever, but excuse me, but no posting. Okay, complaints, all decisions by the adjudicator and timers are final. No one will be permitted to talk to the adjudicator, timers, or riders during the festival. We go to 3 to 4 competitions because it is one person's opinion. We have found that we could have a platinum or a high gold at one competition, and then the next competition have a silver and be like, well, I thought they did a lot better. And, you know, maybe that adjudicator didn't like the music. Maybe they didn't like the style. So sometimes it's hard, right? And we use that as a teaching tool and teaching our kids that, you know what, it's one person's opinion. There's probably things that we could have done better. It is okay to get a silver. It is okay to get a bronze. Let's use that bronze and make ourselves better. We do not always have to get platinum. We do not always have to get gold. It's nice. I'm a highly competitive person. I like those. I like my awards too. But it's okay. If a group comes off and they do the best job they've ever done and they get a silver and I don't agree with it, you know what? I am the first there giving them a big hug and being like, I am so proud of you. You did so amazing. And, you know, like, remember this feeling. Remember what it felt like doing that dance. Like, if you dance it, you won't remember this medal like years from now, but you'll remember this dance, you know. Or maybe they come off, they think they did it good and they got a silver, and I watched it and well, you know, you fell out of your turn, you didn't do your splits, that. So, you know what? You didn't deserve a gold. Gold means it was perfect. Was it perfect? No. So teaching our kids that all different colors of medals are okay. And a lot of times the dancers are pretty good about it, and then they go out to the hall and the moms are the ones that are like, that's ridiculous. Why didn't they get a gold? They should get a gold. That studio got a gold. And we've been training them in for weeks prior coming up about being good sportsmen. Like, that's huge at our studio. That is one thing that's the life lesson that I want them to take out of there, is how to be good sportsmanship and how to treat other studios and other dancers and your teachers and your adjudicators with respect. We do so many different things closer to competition time for that, right? And so they're handling it mature and well, and then they come out and the parents aren't. Ugh, and that's so hard. So I just want to say that it is okay to get a bronze. It is okay to get a silver. It is okay to get a gold. And it is okay to get a platinum. It's whatever medal you get is really minor. It's the experience that they had on there. You tell them as a parent, I am so proud of you. You looked so beautiful up there, you know, and I get it too. You're competitive too. You were watching your daughter, only your daughter, with your dance parent goggles on, and your daughter maybe did the most amazing dance that they ever did, but maybe she wasn't in time with the whole group, or maybe the whole group was like off 5 counts, and that's why. But your daughter looked good, you know. And we don't compare one child in the dance to another child and be like, oh, you brought them down. That's not who we are. If that's what you want, you are at the wrong studio, because that is not who we are. We Hashtag DES love, and that is 100% what that means, is that, you know, when we go to competitions, we do not put each other down. We are there if we have a bad experience. We are there holding each other up. We are there saying good luck to other studios, good luck to our dancers. Yeah, that it's huge. It's more than dance. It is way more than dance. We are teaching them to be amazing young women and amazing men, right? Like, that is my job. My job is not just to teach them dance. So help me make them amazing. Okay, rant over. Yeah, so that's what I was just talking about. Okay, cover-ups. Competitors must always wear cover-up over the costumes when they go into the theater. So if they're going in to watch, they can't have their costume there. We don't want the adjudicator to see it. And even if they've danced, it's distracting, so they need to have a cover-up on. You do not have to buy Dancer's Edge onesies or Dancer's Edge jackets. I don't make you buy it. It is awesome to have them and to be part of Team Purple. The onesies are I really thought that this year we would see other studios doing onesies, but it's still just ours, and it's awesome. When the girls walk in and they see a purple with their costumes and their onesies on, yeah, I love it. And yeah, or their team jackets, right? It just makes you feel like a part of a group. But these are our jackets. My dog is here. Okay, this is the bomber style. This is last year's. This year's looks exactly the same. It's just my new updated logo. So if you have last year's, you don't need to get the new one. But I did update the logo on this. We will use this jacket, style jacket, this year, and for sure next year as well. So they are, I can't remember how much they are. I think they're like 90, 100. They're up there. But we will be using them for a few years. So this is the bomber style. There's also a yoga style, which is like a slimmer fitting. Okay, so these are their team jackets, and it has their names on it. Like that. Okay, we have sample sizes for these only for the next 2 days, for Monday, Tuesday. I have to rent the sample sizes, and then I have to ship them back. So sample sizes are in Blackfalls, Monday, September 11th, if you want to get sized. And then Tuesday, they are in Lacombe, okay? So we have sizes for the jackets, both the bomber style and the other one. And then we also have the tapered jogger. Okay, this does not do justice of what they're going to be. The bottom is going to be like that purple material, and then it'll go black all the way up. These we've seen at a conference we were at. They're so awesome. They're pricey. These ones are $85. I wish they weren't so expensive. But yeah, they're super cool. So that's new this year. 85 plus GST. Studio does not make any money on those because they're already pricey. They're really pricey. So yeah, so team coats. I encourage it. They're not mandatory, but your dancer will wear that coat with pride. So yeah, it's great. Purple. Hashtag original purple. Other studios may... What is this saying? You may duplicate, but never... I can't remember what that saying is. All I know is just keep your mouth shut, Miss Heather. Okay. Favoritism. Miss Heather and other teachers have been accused of favoring one student or another, or a class, or even a whole studio. Your favorite is Lacombe. Your favorite is Blackfalls. The love of dance that Heather or her teachers have is one for the whole studio, and honestly, they do not have favorites. Some dancers, however, work harder than others, and teachers will acknowledge them for that. Just like if a group wins an overall award, the studio will acknowledge them for this feat or other similar feats. Not because of favoritism, but it is because it is deserved to be acknowledged. I took flack one year when a couple groups won an overall competition. They won the whole competition, the whole thing. Got a big banner and everything. And they're like, and then a couple was like, oh, you just favored them and they were all over your social media. Yeah, they were. They were all over my social media. I was so proud of them. And I'm not that I wasn't proud of all of the other groups, and their pictures were all over my social media as the competition went on. And then when it's a huge thing. It would be like if you won the Olympics and I'm not allowed to celebrate you getting a gold medal because someone else from Canada only got 4th place, and she would feel bad. We bubble our children. I am one as well. And, you know, like some competitions don't even have bronze medals anymore. That's serious. They don't. They have silver and up because bronze is too harsh. It's good to celebrate victories, and it's good, you know, to encourage the ones that don't, you know, look, you can be this one day. This could be you, you know, like what you need to do that. Use them to inspire you. Don't look at them with hatred and you know, other harsh feelings inside you. Look at them to be inspired. Let them light the fire in you. So I truly believe in acknowledging those that need acknowledgement. As far as favoritism goes, I'm sure you can see when kids graduate from my studio, the love that I have for each and every kid. Each and every kid that comes in is special, and I and the teachers have connections with each and every kid. And every connection is different, right? But it's not that I love one kid more than the other. And if, it's hard to explain, and I could probably talk forever. And if it's in someone's mind that I do that, then I don't know. All I can say is that I have a huge heart, and this studio is my baby, and these kids are my children, and I love them all. I do. I truly love them all. And some of them need a kick in the butt sometimes, and I'll do that. No. Okay, props. At competitions, we have 30 seconds to 1 minute to get props on and off stage, or can be fined $50. If a dance has props, we ask that each parent takes turn helping backstage with props. Often it is the same parents helping. At the end of the competition, prop trailers usually need to be loaded. Parent help is needed. We communicate if we need help through Facebook. So, we have 2 prop trailers and a lot of props. We try and cut back every year, and it happens. Props happen. They make numbers great. I'm a prop user. I'm probably the worst prop user out of our studio, but it adds to the numbers. And I'm having props this year. Not too horrible. My props are pretty good. But so we'll need to unload for the day in the morning is usually what happens. So I'll post on Facebook, hey guys, I'm going to be there at 7:45, need some helpers. And it was better if I listed spots, and then the parents would reply and I would fill them in there, and then we'd have someone. And then at the end of the day, we would have to do up. And then sometimes if we would need help putting them on and off stage. Last year was great. Last year was so awesome. I feel like it was different parents all the time and not the same ones getting stuck, and that it wasn't 2 teachers at the end of the night trying to load all the props into the trailer. So I didn't have prop headaches, which is awesome. So we are going to repeat what we did last year for this year. Then I kind of talked about our logo wear. They're due in September 28th. Okay, so that the reason why it's a little bit earlier this year is we need them for our Disney World trip, and it was really close for Christmas, I think, last year. So going a little bit earlier. I know September is an expensive month. I hear you. My child is in private school. There's fees all over the place, but it's due the end of month. Recital changes. We are lucky to get the same recital dates that we had last year, the same weekend, at the Red Deer College, which is a beautiful facility, and love. Blackfall Studio will have one show again Saturday afternoon, and that is it's not pulling favorite, it's because it has less competitive kids in it, so it doesn't sell as many tickets, so it doesn't sell out. If we get to the point where Black Falls is selling out, then we'll have 2 shows because I want everyone to come. But right now, it's not selling out. I think we had 100 and some tickets left over that didn't sell. So I need to get to the point where those are all selling. So I can't have 2 shows or else I would lose money. Lacoma is going to have 2 shows again, both Saturday at 10 and Sunday at 10. That was new for us last year. I think that there was room to grow. We had some groups that were split really horribly. Zach, wow, my dog. And, so I did email this out. So Saturday is going to be level 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, and then some of the acros. Sunday is going to be level 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then acro 1, 3, 4. So level 7 and 8 are going to dance at both shows. They're in both recitals. Level 1s only do Saturday. Level 2s only do Sundays. Level 3 and 4, because there's some combo classes, are only going to do Saturday. And level 5 and 6, because there's some combo classes as well, are only going to do Sunday. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I'm here for you. Like, I want this to be the most economic as we can, and you know, the most easiest recitals and competitions and everything like that. So I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to, you know, how I can make it better. We're going into our 15th season. I feel like I've worked out all of the kinks and we're doing things right. So, okay, now let's pull out our parent handbook. Dun, 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 dun. This is your Bible. Yes, if you don't have one, get one. This has everything in it, all of our dates. So we're going to go through it together. Okay, so in September, we start on the 11th, okay? GSP early registration is due on Friday. That's a dance convention that we go to in Calgary. It's their 20th year. It's going to be absolutely amazing this year. So if you have a little bit of extra funds and you want to send your dancer, the convention is October 14th and 15th, and they dance for, I think, 7 hours a day or whatever. So, so early registration has to be in by Thursday night, okay? So have that in. Then early registration gets them a free t-shirt, and it's cheaper rates, so you might as well do that. There is later registration on the 28th. Solo contracts are going to come out. I'm trying to have them out by September 11th. So if your child wants to do a solo or duet, request goes in to that goes in, and then you'll put how many teachers you put down, 2 or 3 teachers as a choice, and we try and give them one of their top teachers. If someone is not ready to do a solo, we will let them know. Or if we think that they picked the wrong style, like say they pick jazz and we know that they're the most strongest tapper, we're going to suggest that they do tap, or we'll be like, you know what, a solo's not quite the right thing for you. Solos are hard, duets are hard. It's 3 hours of instruction with a teacher, and that's it. And then you're on your own and you have to practice and perfect it and everything like that. So you'll see those forms going out right away here. October, so we have GSP, and then the 19th, Dancer's Edge was nominated for long-standing business in Black Falls. So that's a business gala that day. So hopefully, cross our fingers that we win. We haven't won the business award in Black Falls yet. So last year we won large business of the year in Lacombe, which was such an honor. So my goal is to win this year. Then DEP is having a dance-a-thon on October 21st. We decided to close Halloween. It's always like that kind of hit and miss, right? We did close last year, and it seemed to be the right decision. It's on a Tuesday this year. All of our teachers have kids, and you know, you want to go out with them, and then nobody shows up to dance class either. So I'm sure most people will be okay with it. If you have issues, talk to my boss. November 1st, what's that? November 1st, competition fees are due. Always remember that. November 6th to the 10th is watching week. This is your first watching week. You're going to get to see probably a sneak peek of what their competitive dances are going to be. Remember, if you film it, you cannot post it. We're also going to measure your children that week so that we can order costumes. The end of November is our Disney World trip. There is 18 of us going to Disney, 18 and 2 teachers. Then in December, there's Nutcracker performances. We have, I haven't asked Tanya, but I know that the Keekstras and Ashley Adams and Michaela Kennedy and so we have a few dancers in. I'm sorry for those that I forgot. I'm not sure who else is in it, but yeah. And our Future Star recitals, we usually ask if some of the solos are done by then. We usually ask for this winter one some of the senior solos to perform in that, or even intermediate solos. Solo and duet choreo fees are due here. Your competition fees are due November 1st, and then I give you a little bit of a break so you don't have to pay the choreo fees until December, which is kind of nice. Christmas break is 2 weeks. January 1st, you get an email from me. It's your most dreaded email of the year. It is your costume bills. We order our costumes from the States. I am dropping Kelly this year because some of their costumes were over $170 last year by the time it got here. You weren't charged that. You were charged at $140, and we kind of like worked it into some other stuff, and they were just really expensive. So we're having to pick and choose which companies we use. Some of them are catering to Canadians, giving us 25% off to honor our Canadian dollar. So, and hopefully Mr. Trump leaves NAFTA alone and we can still keep getting our costumes from the States. So anyway, yes, so I order all the costumes in November and December, and then they're billed January 1st. So I've already paid for them. Again, this is over $80,000 in costumes, already paid for. So you get it on January 1st. You need to pay me by January 31st, okay? So you need to budget that. I know it's right after Christmas, but that's coming, okay? February, we have a watching week in February, so this is the second time you get to come in and see. The dancers should be well established by then. We should almost be done here. So you're kind of getting a sneak peek of what you're going to see. This year we're taking a winter break. The schools are closed here, and other dance studios are doing it, so we're doing it this year. Next year there's not a winter break. Next year the spring break is super early. It's actually when we're going to go on our cruise in 2019. It's like end of February, March, so that's weird. So this year, but we are taking that break. Then we have stage rehearsals in March, which are mandatory. You must be at our stage rehearsals. These ones that I have the Memorial Center booked here. The first week is for solos and duets and maybe adults, maybe level 1, level 2. We'll see what happens. And then I'm hoping to get somewhere in the 19th, 20th, 21st. I don't have any of those dates yet at the college, so that's why it's tentative. I'm hoping to get in there. Then we will be closed for spring break. And then April, May. Here is our craziness. So we have, because we come back and there's no class on Monday because it's Easter Monday. It's really weird. So then we have a special schedule so the Monday dancers don't miss out. So that'll get emailed out. Then we are at Sparkle Competition, April 7th and 8th. Everyone is there. 7th, 8th, 9th. No classes on that Monday. Then we have regular classes, Future Star Recital. Regular classes to Wednesday. Then no classes Thursday. And we are in Edmonton with only the level 5, 6, 7, 8s. So that's 19, 20, 21st, 22nd. Then come back and we have pictures on the 23rd in Black Falls. Pictures in Lacombe the 24th, and then the 25th we're at Sparkle and Camrose. I know that's back to back, and I know some of you have hotels that night. We're going to try and do our best we can to get you early. We're just, this year, how it landed and what our competitions were, days were tight, so that's what we're doing. Then we're at Sparkle Bright. Everyone is. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, recital tickets go on sale. Regular classes. Then we go to Dream Team. This is everyone again. This is our qualifier for Kelowna. So we're going to Kelowna in the summer, and it's all groups that, or solos and duets that get gold or higher at this competition, at this Dream Team competition, then they qualify to go to Kelowna. You must have 75% of your group able to go to Kelowna. We do subs. We pull dancers from a level above or other dancers that aren't in that and can fill in too. So we need to do really well, and it's nice because it's our last competition, so we should be really, really good by then. Then we have opening number rehearsals, closing number rehearsals. Those are at the studio. Then this year we added a 5th competition for solos and duets. We're going to test out Can Dance in Red Deer. So this is May long weekend, and it is at the Sheraton, I believe. And it is it's a hard competition. So I wouldn't recommend it to our first time soloists or to younger soloists if they're, like strong. And if you're questioning, ask me, and I would say, what, I think, maybe let's pick a different competition. The caliber is going to be very high, but I also think that we have girls and boys that are at that level, and that this is a new challenge, right? So always trying to challenge our dancers and stuff, and test this out and see how this competition is. So that's May long weekend, Victoria Day, nothing. Then we're going to do our full run shoot through of our shows at the studio. That worked so well this year. And then the rec recital is on Thursday, and then stage rehearsal on Friday, and then our shows. Then the following week is assessment week. Okay, so we're going like full month of May. Assessment week is the following week there. And then we go into June. At the very end of June, 25th-ish or something, we need to have Kelowna rehearsals. Okay, so if you are wanting to go to Kelowna, the rehearsals are mandatory. They'll be set prior to the time. Kelowna is July 5th to 8th, right? So they can't go a whole month without practicing. Plus, we're probably going to have people missing that we need to fix spacing, or we're having people filling in. So they need to have rehearsals for this. So, yeah. So this fee for Kelowna is not included in your competition fees that you're paying November 1st. This will be... it'll be after the Sherwood Park Sherwood Park competition, and then you'll let us know if you're going to Kelowna, and then you'll get billed for that. And we do add on a slight fee to pay for the teachers' rehearsal here, and for us to go there as well. But it's not too bad because you're only paying for one competition, right? At the back of here, we have all of our hotel information. So there's blocks of rooms already. You can call, and they don't charge you, so call and book it. Remembering, so say you're a level 1 mom and you have one dance, and it's a weekend of 3 days. I don't know if I would call and book. I mean, it's up to you, but they're only going to dance one time. So they might dance Friday at 4 o'clock. So you have to be there 2 hours ahead, 2.5 hours ahead of time. They dance, they get the medal, they go home. You're done. So the girls that have multiple dances, that's why you need a hotel. Some drive back and forth. Where Camrose and Sherwood Park is not doable. But yeah, if you are only have a couple dances, just know that you're not there the whole weekend. You're there for one time. A couple of the Sherwood Park will have a dance off, and Sparkle Bright will have a dance off. And I'm not sure if the Cheyenne... Stop. If the Cheyenne one will have a dance off or not. So what that means is if the group is like a top scoring group throughout the whole weekend, then they come back and they compete in the dance off. So we'll keep you posted if that happens. Good. Whew, 48 minutes. Okay, I hope that I covered a lot of questions that you have. I really try and keep our communications open. We do live streams, I did them throughout the year last year. They worked. And I'll probably do that again. If you have any questions, feel free to either message me, or probably other parents have the same question. So fire it on the Facebook where I post this. Ask a question and I'll reply back right away. So excited to see your kids next week, to get in the classroom. I've already started on some lesson plans. I have almost all of my dances picked. We're starting acro line choreography on Monday. So Miss Amber and I are meeting and starting choreography already on that, which is awesome. My brain is already in dance mode. This is my favorite part, is the teaching of it too. And we talked at our staff meeting about challenging every level and perfecting every level and making our dances super clean and crisp and taking our dances to the next level. So we hope that this year you see a huge improvement from our studio, and we did last year, and we want to keep doing it, and we want to be that high caliber dance studio that has the amazing name and, you know, the friendly dance studio. That's us. That's who, this is our family. We are a family. You are part of this family now. I'm excited that you're part of this family, and I hope that you enjoy your year. So see you next week.